After 18 episodes of Jam with Sam and 15 episodes of Tim, I had to get a special operations team to go and find you over there. So he's been every time, I have this. I love the excuses you give. Sometimes I wonder
sometimes even I have started liking it.
Like it. Okay, Rajan. Let's see. We saw you're not actually 105 years old, no?
No.
The agency is 105 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, okay. So a short.
Going on 23.
Going on?
23.
23. Okay, nice. So short journey about you. How did you start Dataram? Is it your own company? Is it your dad's company? Was it somebody else's company which you went and grabbed and took out? So if you can just tell us something.
Yeah. Dataram is the first agency started by a gentleman called Dataram. And he started his agency in the bylanes of Girgaon. My dad, who was working in the Times of India, in the advertising department, with 5-6 people, left Times of India and started Everest Advertising. Okay. In 1957, my dad wanted to start something on his own, and he bought over this agency in 1957. In 1971, when I was in college, he passed away suddenly, and that's how I inherited the business.
Okay, fantastic. So that's the story.
That's the brief story
brief
about,
story.
About
like the client gives you a brief, you also given us a brief over there. So I have to expand, or you're going to expand on that?
I can expand a little more. And one of the biggest learnings for me in the advertising, for me in my agency, since I started so early with no background, educational background in advertising, is I learned on the job. And one of the things that I learned really was to become an intuitive player in trying to understand and forecast what the customers are wanting. And another advantage that I had, it was more by, I think, design, by God or whatever, 95% of my clients are all owner managers.
Okay.
So what was happening, they themselves would take part in the advertising decision making, and along with that, they are also very intuitive. All entrepreneurs are intuitive. So I got the added benefit of interacting with them, and my intuition levels went up even better. And that is one of the reasons why we have been able to have a large number of success stories in our agency. So that is a little more.
So which was the first major break you got? Your first customer said, yeah, let's take out
that was pizza. Way back in 1974, a client called NP Chewing Gums and Bubble Gums.
Yes, we remember.
You remember that? Good. So that's
I'm up in my age, I think.
No. It only shows how powerful the brand we created. It only shows how powerfully we created the brand, because that company doesn't exist anymore. The brands are not in the market, and we got the opportunity because what had happened was Fera came into picture and Wrigley's were thrown out. They were asked to only export. So this opened up a small opportunity, and the client, we suggested to him what he should do, and we built his brand over a period of time. And the positioning we gave the company was NP, a child's best company. That's the kind of a positioning we gave for the product. And we also did a little bit of a breakthrough in media planning, in the sense most of the parents didn't like their children chewing gum. I'm talking about 1974, not now. 1974. So we suggested to the client to advertise in the women's magazines, which was, nobody had ever done it, because it would only come in Indradjal comics and all the comic books and those kind of children's magazines. And here was an ad campaign from NP coming in magazines like Femina, Filmfare and all. But it did wonders for the client, and the clients they never looked back. They became very big. Then we also suggested to them to segment the products, and they came out with the Wrigley's, the famous strip Wrigley chewing gums also. All that we did for them. So from a turnover of some 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs, which they had in the beginning in 1974, we took them to 12 crores. If they were around now, there would have been 300 crore business, because Perfetti is doing almost 400 crores in the country today. But they had come into the market at a time when the market was just there. Because of Wrigley's, there was some market, but we expanded the market and we grew.
You say that you're into advertising, but I feel you're more of a brand builder. What's your take on that?
I think it will take the whole night now. No, to put it simply, I mean, a brand is nothing but the perception a consumer has in his or her mind of the product or service. And brand building is not something that you do by just putting an ad in the paper. Many people feel that just putting the ad in the paper and you go build the brand. The brand cannot be built that way. The brand has to be thought of thoroughly. You need to first, even before you start the exercise, it's a long journey. You need to really create and try to find out what kind of a personality you want to give the brand. Like for example, Nike. When the agency got the account, the entire headline, "Just do it," actually came out in a board meeting. And the client was saying something and the agency head says, "Let's just do it." And from there came the headline. But that, if the headline was just there, it would not have made any sense. That's when the creative people got into the act and said, "Okay, let's make irreverence the subject." And that's why all Nike brands were, because they were targeting to the young people. And young people were always irreverent. This is the insight the agency got. The advertising business is nothing but getting an insight into the thing. And that's the main thing, whether you're doing social media or you're doing print advertising or you're doing television advertising, getting the right insight is the key to the solution to brand building.
Many times the customers themselves are very confused, you know. They say, "I want that brand to be like Nike." They are all considering the logo over there. They are not seeing what is going into that brand over there. So how do you convince them that logo is not the only thing? There are other factors also which involve that over there, like maybe a tagline or something. So how do you know, mostly entrepreneurs are say this color looks good, this looks good. So how do you address that?
Yeah, you see what happens, I mean, brand building, as I said, is a holistic. It's nothing that can ever happen in one day, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years. It's a continuous process. It is a continuous investment. You keep pouring money into the brand building exercise to build it. So it's not just a logo or the product. It's the entire personality and the advertising which helps to take it up. Like for example, today, if I think one of the best brand creators in the world today, I mean, it's not even an agency, it's Steve Jobs. I think there is nobody who could have created a product like Apple where everybody wants, they stand in the queue at 12 o'clock in the night to buy the product in America and China. I mean, what can you think of a product? What can you think of a brand? Everybody would like to emulate Apple today. 10, 15 years ago it was Nike, but today it's Apple. Tomorrow it will be somebody else. Tomorrow it could be Flipkart. Tomorrow it could, third day could be Indian Networker. Why not?
So those two logos you saw over there, Jam with Sam and Indian Network, I keep repeating at every meeting. People will hold me that Mr. Dattaram, so finally he's over here. He's got that done over there. Okay, just to this thing about you're saying about Apple. So it seems Steve Jobs, when they designed the first iPod, he took the iPod and he threw it into aquarium. And he said, everyone saying, is he gone crazy dumping that in the aquarium? And bubbles were coming out of it. He's saying there's more space inside, make it smaller. So that's the level of thinking which he got.
I mean, he was everything, an innovator, thinker, marketer, advertising, communication expert, and he was just something else only.
One success story. If you have to name one success story, I know you've got so many. I saw all those numerous brands and all that over there. One success story which can be considered as a kind of a case study, which you can describe over there.
We can even send it to Harvard.
We can also send it to Harvard over there.
Okay, it's the case studies of Dr. Batras. Now, when this account came to us, I mean, we were almost in the fag end of, Dr. Batra had already decided that on January 17th, he's going to look at all the agencies who are pitching for the account and he's going to decide. And we luckily, it happens, all these things always happen like that only. Somebody whom we knew, we just happened to meet him and he said, okay, look here, those guys are looking for an agency. So why don't you call? So we went. We had only 3 days. Only 3 days to present because Batra said, I am going to decide whether you want to do it or no, it's up to you. So we came back on the drawing board. We looked at what the advertising other people had done, the previous agency had done. And we found that we did a small dipstick study because we felt, and luckily or unluckily, luckily I would say, most of the brands, when we got a new client, it was always a new brand or a new category. So we always had a clean slate. There is no hang-ups and no perceived notions. So we said, let's do a dipstick study to find out what homeopathy and what people think. Mostly think that it is just a drawer where you have these white pills and people pop it. But we realized that homeopathy is one of the best ways to treat chronic ailments. Dr. Batra, he was only advertising before and after. So balding and then with the hair, and most people didn't believe what he was doing. Every time you would put an ad, they would get maximum about 7 to 8 inquiries. Then we looked at it and we said homeopathy has to be treated holistically. So we created, can you not show the ad? Is it possible?
Where's Mr.
Or no?
Sandeep is hiding?
No. That ad is there in that.
The one that we didn't show.
The one which you are not, they are threatening not to show.
Because we don't want
I want to show only one ad. Only one ad because he's talking about the case study.
pen drive.
हाँ before हाँ pen drive अच्छा तू load नहीं किया ना?
Okay.
It's after Ketco, but don't show it. Okay. So we realized that homeopathy, Dr. Batra, what was going in for him was he was combining technology with homeopathy.
Okay.
In the sense that he had the most modern setup. His laboratory was completely computerized. The doctors had all the computers, and he was way ahead of his time. And we felt most people think of homeopathy as just one man show with one drawer. We said let's institutionalize Dr. Batra's homeopathy. We also realized that this guy was known mainly for his hair. Why not expand the scope of treatment that you can give, and said there could be a whole lot of miscellaneous ailments that we can show. The ad finally turned out to be almost a half-page ad, and we decided that we won't have color, we'll have black and white to give that kind of a seriousness. It was a 1500-word copy ad, and everybody said, who the hell is going to read this copy? Before the ad came, one day before the ad came, Dr. Batra called me and said, Rajan, how many inquiries you are expecting? Mostly he was getting only about 6 to 7. I said, at least about 100 he should get. On that day, 1st of February 2003, they got 185 inquiries by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then Dr. Batra didn't see anything back. He only marched forward. Along with them, we also marched forward. And in about 2.5 years, the number of inquiries, which were about 800, jumped to 8,000. That is a success story. And that's how we built this brand. So you want to see? I'll show you the first ad which came. Because
He'll put it on. So, Rajan, zero to hero as an entrepreneur, how many times?
Zero to hero means brand building? No, up and down.
Up and down.
Many times.
So, as a entrepreneur, we go through a lot of up and downs in life. It's not always hunker down.
Most of the time.
So, how did you come out? I mean, what made you go from something which you're doing and then you go down? What motivated you to go back? So you fall.
Yeah.
And how do you come back again?
I think only one thing, just be tenacious, just be focused and just keep going after it. Because the market is there. It's not that the market is run away, it's not that the market is saturated. India is a country which is, I keep telling my clients, India will be a new India every 3 years. The way it's going to go on now, so far it has been behind, but now the way it's going to gallop is going to be a serious challenge to advertisers, marketers and agencies, because consumers are going to be in a different kind of a ball. I mean, we are going to be in a different ball game altogether.
Expectations.
People keep talking about digital marketing. I'm saying talk about marketing in a digital world. There's a lot of difference. Everybody talks about digital marketing, which is Facebook, Twitter, tick. That's not it. There is something far more bigger. Marketing analytics, data analytics. This is going to keep changing, and the way a marketer can actually pinpoint a consumer and know everything about him. Say for example, another 4 years from now, such a scenario can happen. You love Arrow shirts, okay? And what will happen is, Arrow will know who the buyers are because of the data analytics. They might make a very good TVC, which they will only beam to you. And if you're passing by on the road and there is an Arrow shop which is about 100 feet, 200 feet away, a message will come to you that Arrow is just about 100 feet away from you. That is what data analytics and marketing analytics is going to get, which means that's why we are saying we are in the world of selfie. But it's not selfie that the usual one which people take a photograph. It is every individual. The companies are going to know you so well that they're just going to be after you. But if SMS today, 90% of the SMS which comes, you don't even open it because 90% are not meant for you or you're not interested. But imagine a situation when 90% of the SMS that will come will be for something which you're needing, and you're going to open it. That's the change that's going to take place over a period of time. That is what I'm envisaging in the digital world.
They always say that American advertising and marketing agencies are much better than the Indian marketing. What's your take on that?
I don't think, as a matter of fact, we have a bigger challenge than there, because theirs is a developed market. Everything is homogeneous there. You go to one McDonald's, you go there, here, everything is the same, parking is the same, everything. They have made it very, very homogenized. But India is a country within a country. Can you imagine to come out with a campaign which will cut across, as we were just discussing a little while ago, from Maharashtra to Calcutta to the north? It's not easy. So advertising in India is far more tougher than what it is in America. But they are far more developed, they have technologies and they have the processes and systems in place, which really gives them, like for example, even there was always a story. 50 years ago, one client said, I know 50% of my money is wasted in advertising, but I don't know which 50%. Even today it holds good. Most of the time you advertise, we don't know whether to put the ads in the magazine or is in the newspaper, should we put a full page ad or a half page ad, whether we should have frequency. All this marketing analytics is going to help us ensure that the return on investment is going to be far better than what you have got so far.
We see a lot of these advertising agencies, especially the American and these big groups, coming and swallowing up these smaller agencies, especially digital. So many of these brands like JWT bought Social Wavelength out over there, the 51 Harish and Sanjay over there. So, but still they are there. So, is it that our digital media is much more better compared to them because they are buying, or they just want an entrance into the market? That's why they are doing that.
See, now they know that digital is the in thing. They know there's a market which is growing. They don't want to waste their time trying to develop a business and a company. The best is to take over the company. So much so that even before they took over the digital agencies, they have already taken over the agencies. Even I am waiting.
Fantastic. Okay, so one big question. Do you think digital will take over print?
See, I'll tell you. In India today, in 2014, the total advertising spend is 41,000 crores. Out of which 18,000 crores is print, 13,000 crores is TV, only 3,000 crores is digital. But digital is the fastest growing. Last year they have grown by 35%. But it will still take time, because India is not like the way it's in America. America, the digital spend is almost nearing television. Print is almost dead, virtually dead. Because everybody just goes on the net or on their mobile to see the news. Even the newspapers have turned digital completely. But in India, it's going to take some more time, far more time. You will be surprised that the circulation of newspapers, especially regional newspapers, is growing by leaps and bounds. Why? Because the literacy rate is going up. So we are still a long way to go. Digital is still far behind, but 10% growth in 5 years is phenomenal.
Okay, so coming to some personal things, which is the favorite food you like to eat?
Savory.
Savory. Any particular place, or just the guy outside your office?
There's a guy outside my office. I like that.
As an advertiser, whom do you admire? Somebody you admire?
I admire Piyush Pandey.
Piyush Pandey. Any reason for that particular?
I mean, he's a guy who was a tea taster. Okay, that's how he started his career. He came into advertising by mistake. That's how most people come in. If they're absolutely useless, they land up in advertising, including me. And slowly he developed creativity, and he brought the Indianness to the advertising. I mean, the kind of ads that he made for Asian Paints and Fevicol is landmark. And he's the guy who really brought in and Indianized the advertising for India, and I think that is one of the very big key successes for taking products to tier 2, tier 3 towns and cities. I mean, people understood that language which he was talking. Otherwise, all the ads were only Americanized. He's the guy who took it to the interiors.
So how do you relax and rewind?
I listen to music. I'm a great music lover. I don't sing, I don't play, but Beatles are my favorite band. I listen morning, evening, afternoon. The radio is on when I'm in the car. The music system is on when I'm at home. It's on when I'm in the office. And of course, I listen to other people also, like Mohammed Rafi is my favorite. Lal Gudi Jayaraman is my favorite. So I have a mix of, I like music. I don't understand much of music, but I love music. That's how I relax.
And you also play badminton.
I know.
What's the passion? What's the passion behind badminton?
Actually, badminton is such a thing that I live to play badminton. It's the other way around. I mean, I actually live to play badminton. I mean, what has happened is, we have a small group in the morning at 6 o'clock. We phone up each other and we all meet and we have a great time. I bring tea, the other guy brings tea, and we enjoy the game. We play to play. We don't play to win. We don't play to shout. We don't play to fight. We don't fight on points. We have a great time. So those 1.5 hours is a great relaxing time besides music.
Besides music. Something about your family?
Well, my elder daughter, she just got married last year. She's a PhD in genetics engineering, and she's working with her husband who runs a pharma company, luckily. So that's where she's...
Which pharma company?
Bharat Serums.
Bharat Serums, okay.
Yeah. The younger daughter, she's a graduate in statistics, and she's working in Thomas Cook in the digital marketing area. But nobody wants to come and join my agency.
So you have to find some, people
Yeah.
who don't have any other job and
So what I'm trying to do is some of my ex-colleagues have all come back coincidentally, and some of them one went to Indonesia, then to Singapore, Australia, in the creative front. Somebody else went into the digital area. Somebody went into copywriting. So they all come back, and I'm trying to put them back. I'm trying to get them back into the company so that we can line up the next generation so that the Taram can continue for another 100 years.
Fantastic. Okay, quick gun, Sam. One witty answer. Clients.
They're very unpredictable.
Okay. Money.
Very hard to come by.
Narendra Modi.
Absolutely, the right person at the right time.
Music.
Everlasting.
Everlasting. What are you looking forward to next?
I'm listening to her.
That is short-term goal, long-term goal.
The long term is to enjoy myself.
Okay.
Retire? Yeah, obviously. I mean, but I don't want to just retire by just hanging my boots. I would like to be a consultant, do something with somebody. I mean, try to nurture a new young blood. And something like that we would like to do so that my mind is occupied. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
So from the most senior, sponsor, jammer over here, he's more senior than Pankaj. He's more senior than you also, no?
Who?
You? Yeah? Pankaj is looking at
I'm 109 years.
Even though he's got grey hair and that was
I got grey hair, is good receded also.
So advice to the entrepreneurs, they are young, medium, old, very young entrepreneurs over here. Advice.
Be focused. I think the first thing that you got to do is to be focused, be consistent, be patient. Be in the business of creating wealth, not in the business of making money. Because making money can be any which way. But creating wealth is something which is always long term, which is sustaining, which is always there. If you are in the business, money will come anyway. This is this thing. Be tenacious. Even if you fall, don't worry. Don't look back. Only look forward, because the world is full of opportunities. You need to see where to see, what to do, and you learn by your mistakes so that you ensure that you don't commit the same mistake.
Fantastic.
Because mistakes, entrepreneurs will always make.
Keep doing over there. Thank you, Rajan,
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
And we expect you to keep coming over here.
Yeah, I'll come again.
And not disappear.
When you're going to call me next. Thank you. Also the photo
This is
session.
all the photo session, so my sponsors will be happy. Flash.
Okay.
That's the problem being a photographer myself. Wait, don't run, yeah. Don't run.
Okay.
This mug is not to be, it's to be made into a money plant. You plant your money plant in this, it'll grow.
Okay.
That's what Farzana told me.
Okay. So we need to give we need to give this to all the entrepreneurs.
Photo. Photo. So at least you'll have a new profile photo tomorrow, no, over there. I'm holding the mug. You have to hold the mug.
Then let me hold it properly.
Kunal.
Okay, Giri.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.